Let me get back to the NBA and what I talked about, because I was talking about Bradley Beal with that no-trade clause. Bradley Beal, who's never played in the conference finals in his career. Bradley Beal, who obviously has never played in the NBA finals in his career. Bradley Beal, who obviously doesn't have a championship on his resume. And again, I'm not throwing any shade at him. He can't do it alone. We understand that the Washington Wizards franchise has been perpetually dormant or just above respectable. When him and John Wall were together and they would get to the Eastern Conference semifinals, they were very interesting. I was there for that Game 7 when they lost to when they lost to the Boston Celtics, okay, a few years back. I saw what Bradley Beal and John Wall could be, and I've always been a fan of Bradley Beal. But a no-trade clause, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something. There are two categories in the world of Stephen A. when it comes to stars. There are stars, and then there are superstars. I was saying it throughout the NBA Finals. Jimmy Butler is a star. Jokic is a superstar, a difference maker. You know, not to say that Jimmy Butler's not a difference maker, but again, Jokic got a championship for a reason. Those first tier, number one A-level kind of dudes that you just can't stop. But guess what else I got for you? There's two categories for a superstar. There are those who are superstars on the court, and then there are those who are box office. Box office. You walk through the turnstiles to see them play. Now, Jokic isn't that dude outside of Denver. The brother, wobbling around and all that stuff, can't jump onto a curb, can't stop him. He's unbelievable. Obviously, that wasn't Tim Duncan's problem, but Tim Duncan was a superstar because of his production on the court, a 5-time champion. But Tim, you ain't walking through no turnstiles to see Tim Duncan. Why do I call somebody like Kyrie Irving, who's only got one ring, a box office? Because you walk through the turnstiles to see him play. You literally, your team could be, his team could have, they could be 20 and 40. 20 games under 500. Oh, damn, Kyrie coming to town? I'm going to see that. I'm going to see that game. I'm going to see that brother play. Obviously, LeBron and people like that. But when you talk about a no-trade clause, that takes it to an even another level. Even another level. You can't have people going like this. Nah, I can't be touched. I go where I want to go. And if I want to stay, I'm staying. And I don't give a damn who's the president of basketball operations or what the owner wants or whatever. I can't go unless I choose to go. You can't trade me unless I choose to allow you to trade me. I run my show. You can't have that. I mean, you just can't have that. That's very bad. That's very, very bad. So I thought it apropos that I give you my list of people who deserve a no-trade clause. They can walk into an owner's office and want a no-trade clause, and obviously there's several people that have a no-trade clause and have had no-trade clauses in history, but so this is probably not the last time it's going to happen. But I'm talking about my list of who deserves it, and that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I only got 5 people for you. 5. At number 5 is Jayson Tatum of the Boston Celtics. Now, this brother does not have a championship, but he's been to about 4 or 5 conference finals. He's been to an NBA finals. He just finished being the first Celtic to average 30 in a season. He's 6'9", can ball from inside or outside, in the open court, etc. And he's 25. He's only 25 years old. If that brother walked into my office and I'm the owner of the Boston Celtics and he wants a no-trade clause, he getting a no-trade clause. He getting a no-trade clause. Okay? Number 4 on that list, Nikola Jokic. Do I really need to explain this? He happens to be the reigning, defending NBA champion. Can't jump onto a curb, like I told you. Averaged a triple-double in the postseason. Brother's unstoppable. Just big. He remind me of Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder. When Tyson Fury set up there, Deontay Wilder talk about knocking him out and stuff like that. Tyson Fury was like this, yo, I'm going to walk in. I'm going to weigh about 40 pounds heavier than him. I'm going to hit him. And even when I miss, I'm going to lean on him. And I'm just going to wear him out. And by the time the fight progresses, he's not going to have any legs because he's constantly pushing my heavy self off of him. That's what Jokic reminds me of. Just bodying up everybody, just leaning on them. You know what I'm saying? Your kid, ain't no six-pack nowhere. Ain't no defined muscles protruding from him. None of that's going on. He's just leaning on you. You know what I mean? Even when he misses, he's just leaning on you, falling on you and all of this other stuff. No wonder he averaging 30. By the time he gets finished with you, you can't even lift your arms come the fourth quarter. It's probably the big dude. I ain't going to say a big tub of lard because some of y'all got offended about that. How about big tub of beef? How about that? Beef, lard, whatever. Pick your poison, damn it. He's big. That's all I meant by that. I meant no disrespect. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. All of them. And he just leans on you. He deserves a no-trade clause. Second-round pick. Two-time league MVP. Could have won it for a third time if he had prioritized doing it. But he prioritized winning the championship instead, and that's exactly what the hell he did. They took Minnesota out in 5 games. They took Phoenix out in 6 games. They swept the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And then they took Miami out in 5. By the way, it was a foregone conclusion. Miami was never going to win that series. I was shocked they won game 2, even though I had them losing the series in game 6. But they find a way to squeeze out to South Beach. You get to South Beach, you get a little distracted. When you get a little distracted, you might lose your focus and you might not be on your game. If there is ever a place that can make you lose your focus, it's Miami. Come on, style. Anyway, so we got that out the way. Number 3 on the list of people who can ask for a no-trade clause. Giannis Antetokounmpo. First of all, you're Milwaukee. They got to hold on whatever the hell they could get. That's number 1. Number 2, you're a champion. Number 3, you're former league MVP, former defensive player of the year, former NBA Finals MVP. You're about 6'11" gazelle, unstoppable in the open court, averaging 28, 29, and 12 or 13, doing whatever you want. Plus, you play defense, and you ain't going to get somebody like that in Milwaukee unless you draft them. He ain't coming there free agency. Gained 57 pounds of muscle since he got into the NBA, clearly dedicated, is a rough rider, competes against anybody, tries to take everybody out. Giannis is big time. He can get a no-trade clause. No problem, no questions asked. You should be glad he asked for a no-trade clause because that implies he might not want to leave. You got to hold on to that for dear life if you're Milwaukee. Okay? So that's number 3. Number 2 on this list is the king himself, albeit one devoid of a crown this season. His name would be LeBron James. LeBron James, as I've said many occasions, is not Michael Jordan. Joe Budden, I don't care what the hell you say. And I ain't forget about you, bro. I'll see you soon. I'm going to take you up on that invitation, my brother. I got nothing but love for you and your podcast, by the way. Keep up the great work. And I think I saw my girl, Melissa Ford, there with you one time. What's up, girl? How you doing? Long time. Let me tell y'all something. LeBron James is not the greatest player. Well, not the greatest champion, whatever you want to be. He's not the greatest who ever lived. That would be Michael Jordan. But I got him at number 2. Even if you gave me Larry Bird, I'd still take LeBron James for the first 46 minutes as the greatest small forward in the history of basketball. It's really a point forward. He couldn't shoot better than Bird. Everything else he could do, far superior. Bird wasn't half the athlete he was. And I love Larry Bird. And he was Mr. Clutch, no doubt about it. But LeBron James is a special breed. And ladies and gentlemen, forget his greatness for a second. Spanning 20 years, career 27 points per game, 4-time champion, 4-time league MVP, 10 trips to the NBA Finals. Forget all of that for a second. In his 20th season, he averaged 29. In his 20th season with Anthony Davis on his team, he was still the best player on his squad. In his 20th season, no matter where he goes, you walking through the turnstiles to see that brother play. You know, I often say this, and people call it cocky or whatever. I remember one time somebody said something about me, and they was talking about the layoffs at ESPN years ago. How come Stephen A. didn't get laid off? Some idiot that worked for Sports Illustrated at the time. I was like, yo, I don't lose money for the company. I make money. That's why I'm there. Because my presence on the air brings in revenue. And that revenue is what enables others to get paid. I am not a minus or a subtraction to my employers. I'm an asset. And when I talk to y'all about what y'all need to do, I talk about being an asset in whatever your chosen profession is. It ain't just punching the clock, going to work, punching the clock, doing whatever your obligations are and going home. It's about elevating yourself to a point where you are a damn asset. So somebody can look at you and appreciate what the hell you're bringing and look at it as having monetary value, since none of us are working for free. That's what it is. And I believe in bringing money in. That's what I'm about. That is what LeBron James has done for decades. He deserves a no-trade clause. In fact, I'll go this far. When he retires, he deserves the Jordan treatment. Remember when Jordan would go from arena to arena and they would honor him? That's the same way Kobe went from arena to arena and they would honor him. That's exactly what LeBron James deserves. Every single arena in the National Basketball Association should have a special ceremony honoring LeBron James when it is all over. We will miss him when he is gone. He's that special. And he deserves a no-trade clause. Last on my list, Steph Curry, the babyface assassin, the greatest shooter God has ever created. That dude. There's nothing to debate here. He's a two-time league MVP. He's a four-time champion. He's the all-time three-point shooting sniper. He is the greatest shooter on the planet Earth. And what makes it worse, not only is he the greatest shooter on the planet Earth, I'm not talking currently. I'm talking about since human beings were placed on planet Earth, to my knowledge. Since James A. Naismith invented the game of basketball. Since the late, great John McClendon revolutionized and evolutionized the game of basketball. There has never been in the history of this game. I don't want to hear Mad Dog Russo and others talking to you about Sam Jones or Larry Bird and all of these other people. The basketball shooting, the shooting off the dribble, the shooting standing still, from the key, from the wing, from the corner, from 20, from 30, from 40, sometimes from 50 feet, off the dribble, standing still, floaters in the lane. The list goes on and on. It doesn't matter. When it comes to shooting the basketball, there is no one that has ever been greater than Steph Curry. With the versatility of ways in which he can shoot the basketball, not to be me mention his movement without the basketball. There's never been anyone like him. Ever. Ever. And do you know what his friends tell me? His friends say to me, his teammates say to me, it's nothing compared to what he is as a person. Family man, God-fearing, disciplined. The media for the Golden State Warriors needed the players to do something for them. And it disrupted their schedule. Do you know what the players said to the media relations department of the Warriors? We have to check with number 30 first. Number 30, that's Steph Curry. He ain't the president of basketball operations. He ain't the coach. He ain't the owner. But they had to check with him first. Because they know who their leader is. On and off the court, there is no debate. If he went to Joe Lacob and said, I want a no-trade clause, he'll have a no-trade clause. They will never separate. I know Joe Lacob personally. Successful, highly successful owner, a billionaire. Love the guy personally. I have a great relationship with him. Joe Lacob loves making money. Loves it. He'd lose money for Steph Curry. He'd lose money for Steph Curry. That's how deified Steph Curry is. Plain and simple. Steph Curry, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, and Jayson Tatum. As far as I'm concerned, they're the only 5 players in the NBA who deserve a no-trade clause. Love Bradley Beal. Props to you and your agent, Mark Bartelstein. How the hell you get a no-trade clause is beyond me. That's reserved for rarefied air. I didn't even mention Kevin Durant having a no-trade clause. Think about that.